All right. Welcome once again, our dear viewer, to Budget Cafe Discussions, a platform which bridges the knowledge and awareness gap regarding the budget making space here in Kenya. I want to say welcome to today's session. We are now continuing our discussion on budget documents, and this is a key budget document, which is the annual development plan. So we don't have the current development plan on the website. So I got this annual development plan. They had uploaded it earlier, but they brought it down. So this is the one that we are going to go through, the annual development plan. So just to ask, Beatrice, what do you think is the, what do you think the annual development plan entails? You are on mute.
I want to imagine it takes care of or it outlines the projects, the development fund projects that are going to be undertaken within a given financial year.
What about you, Stephen? You are on mute. Kindly unmute yourself.
Hello.
Hello, yes.
Am I audible?
Yeah, yes, you're now audible.
Okay, my thinking is that it's a document that contains the development project that a county is prospecting to have in a given year, which is broken down into the financial requirements, the much amount of money that is required to have that project implemented, as well as the source for that fund that is required. That's my thinking.
All right. So I'd like to share with you that an annual development plan is a document that frames the development plan for a county for one financial year, just as both of you had stated. So the ADP provides the county with an opportunity to update priorities in the CIDP in line with any emergent issues in the budget, the economy, and political matters that affect priorities. So one thing that you should also know is that it is also counties are legally they're supposed to even publish the ADPs, and they are also supposed to engage the public in the matters ADP. So if you look at section 126(3) of the Public Finance Management Act, it requires the county executive committee member to table the ADP in county assembly for approval by 1st September each financial year. So as I had shared with you when we were learning about the budget calendar, we stated that in September, the budget circular, which is for the county, has to be ready by August 30th, and then by September 1st, the CEC at the county assembly finance, they have to table the ADP in the county assembly for approval, so that the county assembly can then go ahead and gazette, so that members of the public can go and participate in the public participation forums and give their input. Okay? So this forms the basis of the next annual budget preparation in line with section 1041 of the County Government Act that states that no funds should be appropriated outside a planning framework. So that is why it is essential for you as a citizen to participate even in the development of the annual development plan, which is in the formulation stage of the budget, because at that particular stage, whatever you want to see in the financial year, the coming financial year, if it has not yet been implemented in the previous financial years, they can consider it as long as it was outlined in the County Integrated Development Plan. Okay, so I'd like to show you an outline of the annual development plan for can you see it clearly?
Yeah, but you will need to zoom.
Zoom. Okay, let me put it at 100%.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's okay. All right. Okay, so you can see here, this is the Machakos. Unfortunately, they don't have it. They don't have the latest one. The latest ADP published in the county government website. So if we want it published, we have to request the county government by writing to them using the access to information tool so that we can access it. So you see, like this particular document, this is the latest that that is on the website, and that is what we are going to use for our analysis. So as you can see, even in the forward, you can see that they have said that the 2018-2019 Annual Development Plan is prepared in accordance with the Public Finance Management Act 2012, among other legislation. It sets out county strategic priorities or programs that will be the basis for formulation of 2018-2019 financial year program-based budget. Okay? So these strategic priorities are aimed at giving impetus to county economic transformation through focusing on sustainable agriculture, infrastructure, and social development. So they're also saying that the ADP is prepared yearly as part of implementation of the 5-year County Integrated Development Plan, which is the guiding development blueprint for the county for the period 2018 to 2022. As such, the document is aligned to international, regional, national, and county development agenda, which include the SDGs, the Africa Union Agenda 2063, Vision 2030, and its medium-term Plan 3, and the Governance Manifesto. All right. So you see here, they are saying that this ADP was prepared through a consultative process that involved collection of inputs from both internal and external stakeholders. Technical officers from each county department were trained on how to capture and classify inputs collected from both their respective departments and the public. The views and suggestions collected from the public were compiled by the county planning unit, after which the document was forwarded to the county, to the executive and the county assembly for approval and adoption respectively. So you can see here that they are saying that the views and suggestions collected from the public were compiled by the county planning unit. Yes, they were compiled, but in this particular document that they're telling us that the document was compiled, is there evidence that, are they showing us who the members of the public were who participated in it? So you usually find it in the annex section of the annual development plan. So let us see whether the county government showcased the names of persons who participated in the development of this particular ADP. So I'm in the last page. So as you can see, there is no attachment whatsoever to show that members of the public attended. And yet, this is key information that they should attach when they are submitting, when they are publishing this information on the website. So any document that is published on the website, it is good to showcase who actually participated and what did the members of the public who participated shared. And once that information is made public, then we can get to know whether whatever they said that they wanted to be in the annual development plan was actually incorporated. So by lacking this information as a member of the public, it is high time that we can request the county government to be attaching this particular document showcasing who participated in the public participation exercise. Okay? So you can see, like, now the table of contents, you can find that chapter 1 gives an county overview and the preparation of the annual development plan. Chapter 2 talks about overview of the development achievements in the previous ADP, the challenges experienced during implementation of the previous ADP, and lessons learned and recommendations. And then chapter 3 now starts to talk about county strategic priorities, programs, and projects for this current financial year. Okay, so even as we scroll down, you can see the legal basis for the preparation of the county annual development. As I had stated earlier, it is based on, in accordance to section 126(2)(a) of the Public Finance Management Act 2012, which states that the county executive committee member responsible for planning shall prepare the development plan in accordance with the format prescribed by regulations. The Public Finance Management Act 2012, section 126(1) highlights that the ADP should include the following: detailed programs that need to be delivered, strategic priorities, the services or goods to be provided, and measurable indicators of performance where feasible, and the budget allocated to each program. So these are some of the things we are going to look at to see whether detailed programs, whether the programs that have been highlighted are in detail. And also we'll also get to know the strategic priorities, the services or goods to be provided, measurable indicators of performance, and the budget allocated to each program. So here they are talking about the previous performance. So one of the things that we should look out for, even in the CIDP, is that the ADP should provide strategic priorities over the medium term. So in the medium term, we are saying in the next 3 financial years, due to scarce resources with competing needs. All right. So we are going to evaluate whether this annual development plan provides strategic priorities within the sectors or departments or ministries. So even as we scroll down, you can see here they are saying they have stated the county strategic priorities of programs and projects. So they're saying that this is how they have grouped it. So you can see here there's agriculture and cooperative sector. They have said that what the vision, the mission, the sector goal. And as you can see here, even with regard to agricultural sector, they have even sub-programs. So like even for the program 1 on administration, planning and support, you can see even they have put sub-programs. They have said the key outcome that they want to achieve. They have said the key performance indicators. They have said even the planned targets. And estimated budget in millions that they intend to use in that financial year. So with regard to administrative service, you can see they have allocated 38 million. And also with regard to modernizing offices with ICT equipment, they have allocated 2 million towards that. And the planned target is 24. Okay, so let's just go down. So with regard to program 2, and you know, like you see like program 2 here, policy, strategy and management of agriculture. Subprogram 1, agricultural policy, legal and regulatory frameworks, planning support. They have said that their key outcome is to develop, review agricultural laws, policies and regulations. And the key performance indicators are number of bills, policies, regulations, reviews developed. And they said that they're planning on having 3 of them, like 3 bills or policies reviews developed. And the amount they had proposed is 1.5 million, okay, for that financial year. So whether it was achieved, that is something now that we can even look at even the controller of budget. We can look at and even the auditor general report, so that we can see like how counties have utilized the resources they have been given, okay? Like, you know, like with this one, we can even visit the CEC for agriculture. We inquire whether some of these things were developed, or even the MCA for agriculture, because this was developed during this was supposed to have been done 2 years ago. So you see, like budget champions, these are something that you should be looking out for, okay? Like you follow up. So ADP has happened. So you see, like following up on this. This is where you find that, you know, like the annual development plan is in the formulation stage, where now your publics are giving reviews, and then whatever you say here, it informs the county budget review and outlook paper, as I had trained you before, and it also informs the county fiscal strategy paper, and then the program-based budget, and then thereafter the budget itself. So, you know, after the budget has been passed, now the county starts utilizing that money. When the county starts utilizing that money, now following up on this is where now, if you want to follow up on this, we'll need to look at the county implementation reports of the county for this financial year, 2018-2019, to see whether they achieved what they have mentioned here. Unfortunately, the county doesn't upload the county implementation report. They also, like in Machakos, the word that they use is the progress report, okay? But it's not more like the county, you know, county implementation report has its own format that should be used. So it is up to us as budget champions to go through the county implementation report. So you see, for this one, we can request for this county quarterly implementation report for this financial year, because, you know, ours is a learning experience, to see whether this was achieved in that financial year, okay? So you can see here that even they have said, even in the subsector on crop development, that they want to increase cultivated land, and they said that the number of operational tractors, they're looking at 40. So this is the subsidized tractor program, that is the subsidy. And then now the outcome is increase in cultivated land, and then number of operational tractors, they're looking at 40. Number of new tractors procured, 0. Number of operators trained, 40. So that means that they already had bought previously 40 tractors, and they had already hired these operators. And then acreage plowed. So in this case, they set aside 20 million to be used for this. So to get to see whether this was actually utilized, the document that we need to look at is the county quarterly implementation reports. That one, those ones are going to give us details so that we can get to know whether what was said was actually utilized. So you can see why it is important for you as a budget champion to participate in the development of the annual development plan, because whatever you say here, it informs the budget of the upcoming financial year. So you see, like for the next financial year, it's gonna be the financial year 2021, 2022. Like yeah. So that one was already done this year, but now from September this year, it's going to be for 2021, yes, 2022, 2023, yeah. So now, right now, I'd also like to take you, we want to see the program on health. So this is the energy and infrastructure. You can see that they had said, for example, that electricity distribution. So you can see whatever they are saying here is what the members of the public also stated. So that is why this document was published. So electricity distribution, they said that the outcome is public institution and households connected, percentage of public institution and household connected with electricity, that they had allocated 310 million towards that, okay? So I'd like to jump and come to another key ministry. This is now the health sector. And we get to understand like how much are they allocated. So you can see for preventive and promotive health services, in the subprogram 1, they say disease prevention and control services. So the outcome is strengthened preparedness and response to disease outbreaks and other public health events. So the key performance indicators that they stated there is proportion of suspected outbreaks of epidemic prone diseases notified, plant targets are 100%. So you can see that, and then the other one, strengthened county and sub-county rapid response team, number of county or sub-county RRTs trained and responding to rumors or outbreaks, 3, effective control of neglected tropical diseases, 60%. So to achieve all these, for sub-program 1, they allocated 2.6 million towards achievement of that. So you can see the other sub-program on health is environmental community health services. So you can see here, key outcome, open defecation free county. So performance indicator is proportion of villages declared open defecation free, and the target is 85%. And then they said established community health services at tier level 1. And they had also said that with regard to that, the performance indicator is number of new community units established, number of community units retrained. You can see also here they said improved menstrual hygiene management in schools. So proportion of schools practicing MHM, so they had put the target at 30%. Strengthened aflatoxin surveillance, they put the target at 30%. So you can see the allocated money to achieve all this is 47 million. Now, we are going to look now at reproductive, maternal, newborn child, adolescent health. So here they are said reduction of vaccine preventable diseases, percentages of fully immunized children. So the target for that financial year was 75%. So, and promoting respectful maternity care, increased hospital deliveries. So like this is number of deliveries conducted by skilled attendants. So they want that to be at 52% target. Increased utilization of ANC services, percentage of pregnant women attending 4th ANC visits. So that is 30. It is crucial for pregnant women to attend these antenatal visits. They are usually 4. First one, second one, third one, fourth one. So failure of a pregnant women not attending is detrimental to their health. And that is why the county is saying they want to increase utilization of ANC services, percentage pregnant women attending for ANC visit, that they put at that one at, they want it to increase by 30%. And then increased family planning uptake, they said percentage of reproductive age women receiving family planning commodities, they said 60%. So if they say 60%, then you see, when we are looking at the quarterly implementation reports, we will be able to know how the targets that they had set, did they meet those targets? And then establish youth-friendly centers in the county. So they said that they are going to establish 2 youth-friendly centers in the county. They had also stated that they are going to integrate comprehensive post-rape care services, 3 per sub-county by CHS. The number of centers established, they stated that they established 4. Okay, and the amount of money that was allocated for RAMCA, all of it, 53 million. Is that money enough? If that money is not enough, that is why it is crucial for you as a budget champion to go during, to attend this public participation, like even the county fiscal strategy paper, to go and champion for increase in budget allocation for the department that you see fit, that you want the budget to be increased. So as you can see the you have seen the priorities that the county so fit to look at. So you can see, like, there's energy, there's energy, there's health. You can see here there's also curative. So this is how counties determine what needs to be done. So at least from this exercise, we have seen that Machakos County has provided strategic priorities within the sectors and departments. Okay, so the reason why we asked that statement on whether they have provided in that particular document strategic priorities, it is because in accordance to Article 222 of the Constitution, it states that every county government shall prepare a development plan that includes programs to be delivered with details for each program of the strategic priorities to which it contributes. Okay, so you have seen for yourself. So the other thing that is also important is to know whether the ADP, whether the annual development plan indicates within sectors or in a summarized form the information on how priorities in ADP are connected with CIDP priorities. So at least we saw in the forward section that the county government, in this particular document, they showcased it. So, but it is essential for us to go back and confirm whether they have actually done so. So you can even see here that that the county government okay, we scroll down. scroll down. Yeah, so here they had gone through it. So you find you find that is mentioned here in the forward section. In the forward section, it is mentioned here in the forward section by Francis Mwaka, County Secretary and Head of Public Service. So that is where they have stated that this ADP is in accordance to the CIDP. Okay, so you can see the linkages. Okay, and that linkage is essential. Okay, because if you look at the Public Finance Management Act 2012, Section 126(1)(a) states that every county government shall prepare a development plan under Article 222 of the Constitution that includes strategic priorities for the medium term that reflect the county government. Okay, so that one was stated there. So you can find that different counties have different modes of showcasing. And then now the ADP should also give information on resource mobilization, broken down to individual revenue sources for the coming budget year. So this guides the county development planning on how realistic the revenue projections are in the coming year. So we are going to see whether this ADP presents information on revenue targets for the next budget year, broken down by source. As you can remember in the previous training, you saw, like, we talked about the different sources, and one of them we said on-source revenue. We also talked about revenue from yeah, so you can see this is in 51, so that we can get that information. So that is page 51. So it's a bit down here. So now that is in chapter 4. That is where, now this is chapter 4. So the ADP should contain that information. So you can see that chapter 4 is saying, this section highlights the allocation criteria of resources for all the sectors and a summary of the estimated budget per sub-programs in all the sectors. So resource allocation criteria. The allocation resources to the various sectors in the financial year 2018-2019 will be guided by the following criteria. Degree to which the program addresses the strategic priorities identified during the public forum, budget ceilings allocated by Commission of Revenue Allocation, equitable share of revenue allocation of the national government, ongoing projects, programs prioritized in the County Integrated Development Plan, and cost effectiveness and sustainability of the program, funding from development partners, and the allocation of resources. The allocation of various is as indicated in the table below. So let us look at that table. So you can see here that they have stated allocation of resources per sector. Okay. They have stated allocation of resources per sector. So this is like a detailed, but what we are looking at whether they have broken it down by on-source revenue, like even whether they are conditional grants. They have, if we look at this, that is not in the document. You see, it is not in the document. And yet, it is supposed to be there. Huh? Yet it is supposed to be. So so as you can see, they have not given us that data for us as budget champions to get to know this information. So the information that they should have given us is, what is their proposed resource mobilization framework for that financial year till for the medium term? And they should have given us, it should have looked like this. As you can see, this is for, let me stop sharing that one so that I can share with you now the one. So this is how it should look like. And you can see this is the Nairobi County Annual Development Plan 2018-2019. So as you can see, we have gone through the entire one for Machakos, but they have not shown us a breakdown of the resource mobilization framework. And it should have like on-source revenue. So on-source revenue is money that they get from taxes as a county, and they can tell us like what amount they were expecting to get, like for that financial year and for the next even 2 financial years. So if you look at this particular document, and this is from the ADP of Nairobi County 2018-2019, you can see that they have provided in millions how much was they had allocated, as how much tax they were expected to get from on-source revenue as a county and for the next 2 years. And also equitable share of revenue from national government. And this one should be, and they stated, and it was also highlighted here, okay? As I had stated, that a county can get funding through the equitable share. So you find that at one time, the equitable share that was shared to the counties was 316 billion, okay? So you find that through the County Allocation Revenue Act and also through the Division of Revenue Act, you find that each county, basing on the Commission of Revenue Allocation formula, there's a certain amount that they are supposed to get. And that one should be indicated here. So you see, like Nairobi, they stated that the equitable share of revenue from national government, they stated here. And then they went even further to break it down, and they stated compensation for user forgone, how much money, license. So you can see road maintenance levy, this is how much they expect, development of youth polytechnics. And then they also stated that the conditional grants, these conditional grants, as the name suggests, they come with conditions and they are usually given by the donor community. So you see, for this one for Nairobi County, you can see this is the amount that they had stated. They had stated that they are getting each financial year. So you can see here that like Nairobi County is getting the conditional grants from World Bank grant on Kenya Devolution Support Program, 53,285,171. And then there's also World Bank grant for Kenyan Urban Support Project. And there's also Danida grant to supplement financing of county health facilities. So this is the breakdown that is needed, so that we can see where each county is with regard to revenue. So as you can see, this one, it has captured the cumulative on-source revenue, equitable share, and total conditional grants, and even goes further to provide the breakdown of the conditional grants by their sources. So that is the ideal as is required. That is the ideal as is required. Now, yeah, kwani nimepotea?
Usipotee.
Oh, I thought ati nimepotea. Eh? Oh, okay. Sawa,
Yeah.
sawa, sawa. So, I'd like to show you now, let me share screen. Share screen. Oh yeah, it is there. So let me close this and then I say share screen. Yeah. So as you can see, the one for Machakos doesn't have that information. Okay. So the other thing that we should also look out for the Machakos one is whether the annual development plan showcases expenditure information. So it is supposed to give, the ADP should give information on the performance of recurrent and development expenditure for each department for the previous ADP and allocations in the coming budget year. So we have gone through this document and we have seen that that particular information is also missing because this is what should appear, okay? This is what should appear. Let me show you. The information that should appear should look like this. Let me share screen. You know, here in this training of ours, we have to be practical. So you see, like this is the Kisii County Annual Development Plan. And as you can see here, they have given proposed allocation by departments. And this is something that we have not seen in the Machakos one. So you can see that they have given department, they have also given development expenditure. Development expenditure is money that is utilized for long-term assets and capital, like purchase of vehicles, construction of hospitals, upgrading of hospitals, upgrading of office blocks, and recurrent is money that goes towards payment of salaries, wages, emoluments, and even you find that like health commodities, items that are being bought every now and then, they lie in the recurrent. And so the one for Machakos, the annual development plan, is supposed to have given us this breakdown, but it has not given us, as you have seen in that particular document. So it's a matter of asking them, even asking the budget committee, why isn't this information public? Okay, so you can see like here that they have broken down departments, and if you can see health services, they said that development that for the development expenditure for the financial year 2020-2021 Kisii County development, they are giving 1.3 billion and recurrent 3.3 billion. Okay, and then they have given even the total that they want to use, though I think here there was a mistake because here they had stated 1.6 billion, so it's like they added these three, or this person didn't or they had like they did their calculations wrong, because if it health services has been given 3 billion in the recurrent and here 1, so it's supposed to be here 4 point something, not 1 point something. Okay, so it is something that the Kisii County Government Budget Committee needs to look at. But the essence is, for this exercise, is the ADP should have information like this: department, development, recurrent, total. Okay. The other thing that is essential that the county government should look at, even when it comes to the ADP, is whether the ADP provides information on budget allocation for the coming year, broken down to recurrent and development by department or sectors or ministries. And this is essential because the Public Finance Management Act 2012, Section 126(1), every county government shall prepare a development plan following Article 222 of the Constitution that includes a summary budget in the format required by regulations. So this is a format that is required to be incorporated in those documents. But unfortunately, you are finding that even as Machakos County, we are lagging behind with regard to that information. The ADP should also present expenditure projections for the coming year below the sectoral or ministerial level. So that is what you can see, that like if we look at the one for Machakos County, this information they have provided in this, and this is
the screen.
Yes, I want to show you. I want to show the screen so that at least now you can see. Okay. So let us see. Like you see, like public administration. Huh? So you can find from this statement that you find that they have given like a breakdown of what they want to use per department. So we can see that for public administration, they have stated what they want. And they said the office is the office of the governor. Program 1, they said leadership and coordination. And they have stated the amount of money that they have allocated. They have allocated for each. So for that sector total, for the one for public administration, you can see that they have allocated it 8 million for that. With regards to youth, education, youth, and social welfare, you can see they have been allocated. By the way, they have not been allocated. They have been allocated here. You can see the amount here. So to see the total amount, you can see it is 1. This amount of money was allocated towards that. So that is around 1 billion. They're saying amount in shillings, but it is, I think, that is 1 billion. And then land environment, 584 million. Water and irrigation, they allocated it 980. And then commercial tourism, you can see they have allocated 968. So you can see that the entire amount of money that they have allocated towards this to all the departments is 16 billion. Okay, but we needed to see expenditure progressions for the coming year below department, sector, or ministry. Unfortunately, you find that they have used their own format, which is okay. So I'd like to show you one from Isiolo County so that you can see how their format is like. Okay, so you see like each county is unique and each county is unique in how it expresses itself. So you can see like for the agricultural sector, this is Isiolo Annual Development Plan for 2019-2020. So agriculture, they have broken it down and stated the amount 40 million. Yeah. And we have also seen Machakos County has also done the same and has been precise. Okay. So the other thing that is essential to look at is non-financial information in the annual development plan. Does the annual development plan provide non-financial information? Non-financial for the coming budget year at sub-program level. Okay. And we have seen, so let me show you an example of a non-financial information, and that is from Baringo County Annual Development Plan. So let me show you let me share screen. So you can see like this non-financial information on plant targets, like the sub-program, key outputs, key performance indicators, plant targets. And with regard even to status here, you can see that they have broken it down so that in sub-program, to even know the project name, the ward it is in, description of activities, green economy consideration, estimate cost, source of funds, time frame, performance indicators, targets, status, implementing agency. In the one for Machakos, let us see whether they have provided this information. Kindly capture it well, whether they have given us the word where it is, whether they have given us the activities. So let me show you, let me stop sharing so that we can look for the one for Machakos. You know, like our training is more practical, so that we can see whether they have done that. So you can, as you see for the one for Machakos that I'm showing right now, for the ADP, you can see that this information is, can you see information on, can you see information on ward, the status? Can you see?
No.
So you can see that it is not aligning to what is supposed to be there. We are almost through. Just a few minutes. Yeah, because we're supposed to end by 6:30, so it's just 4 minutes too. So you can see the ideal one. The ideal one should look like this. So it is us as budget champions, our responsibility to be asking the county government to ensure that even the annual development plan is detailed, so that you can know, like in Masinga, like in a ward in Masinga, what needs to be done. So they should tell us, like even for a sub-program, if it is water supplies, project name, what is it? The word, what is it? Description of activities, they say. Consideration, estimated cost, source of funds. You know, this is the detailed information that we need to see there. So, as I've stated, we are coming to the end of this particular document, and in a minute or two, we'll finish. So, like the current ADP should provide information on public participation information with details on the priorities submitted from the public, who was involved at what level, sub-county. And as you can see, in this particular document, in this Machakos Annual Development Plan, that information is missing. It is missing. It's usually at the annex section. It is missing. So unfortunately, we don't know. We don't have details of priorities submitted from the public, who was involved, at what level, or at what level was it conducted, sub-county, ward, or village, all right? So these are key information that needs to be looked at the annual development plan. So you can see that that is how an annual development plan, that is how the annual development plan should look like. Unfortunately, the one for Machakos, you have seen for yourself where Machakos County lies. So it is now up to us to decide, like, in the next annual development plan that is going to take place in September, that we should attend, and even during our public participation, when we are submitting our memo, when we look at what they have presented, we see whether whatever is being asked has been provided. So yeah, so any do you have anything to share, Beatrice?
No, I'm okay. I like the presentation,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm disappointed that our county doesn't present the information the way it is supposed to be done.
Mm-hmm.
Yet I want to believe those we have accountants who are doing that, and they are paid to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Then they do a shoddy job.
So what action do you think should be taken?
It's important that they give an explanation, and even now, who else is supposed to, this document is supposed to be submitted to who?
This
Or it is best for them?
This particular document, once it is approved, it is supposed to be uploaded on the website, on the county website. Yes.
So then that means whoever was approving did not get the full information, yet he or she approved it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because those documents should have been attached before it is approved.
Yeah, but you know, even there are instances where the county officials they neglect to publish them the way they are supposed to be. And that is why it is essential for us as budget champions to promote transparency and accountability, for them to incorporate it to be the way it is supposed to be. You can see other counties are doing well with regard even to the information they're providing on the ADP, and thus we are lagging behind. So I think that Machakos County needs to work. Yes, yes, they need to work on this, and so that even in the next development of the ADP, we can see the changes. But I think that during the development of the ADP, when it is published, or when during the development, when they give us what they want, we will follow up. When they publish, we tell them why aren't we seeing whatever is there.
Yes.
Yes, that will be a crucial time.